and started to tomahawk Golota.
I wasn't going in there to hit Golota until I felt like I was assaulted.
And there are more people trying to go in. And security.
Don't do it. They'll stop it. Don't, get back, go back where you'll see the tongue. Get on back there.
My microphone got knocked off my head.
Don't do it, son. Don't do that.
There's danger all over the place here. This is a very desperate situation. Lou Doof is in trouble. Lou Doof is in trouble on the ring mat.
When he was on the ground, he was getting kicked. He was getting punched. 70-year-old man, he was helpless.
First thing I thought is, oh my God, Lou's died in there, right in the middle of all this craziness in the ring, but he clearly wasn't conscious.
Doof is being taken out on a gurney right now, and we hope that they can get it through the crowd.
They had about 4 or 5 guys carrying it, and they were going, turning me over, turning me. I said, for Christmas' sake, it's safer to go back in the ring and fight. You guys are killing me over here, you know?
4 minutes after Golota was attacked, Duva was taken to the hospital for observation. The violence in the garden was spreading.
George Foreman trying to be the peacemaker. What are you doing? Hey, what are you doing, guy? What are you going to accomplish in there?
I don't know if it was racial, but it felt sort of tribal. It felt like what I imagine a soccer riot could be like.
People were getting hit over the head with chairs. People were getting stomped on.
It's flaring up again now behind us. Another riot. Guys jumping over chairs.
Riots and fights are breaking out at ringside.
At that point, I realized, well, if I stay here, I'm not going to be able to report much longer because this whole setup is bound to come apart. And I just dumped off my headset and ran up one section in Madison Square Garden to deliver a little bit broader perspective on what was going on.
I've never been involved in a more personally terrifying situation than that one. This ring has been stormed by thugs and hooligans. Obviously, emotions were flowing high on both sides.
You expect that in a matter of a minute or two, the powers that be are going to get it organized and cleared up. Well, there were no powers that be, were there?
Well, it was the desire of Madison Square Garden to provide their own security. And of course, since it's a private arena, unless you're invited in, you can't be there.
In the beginning, there was no security at all. There was a couple of guys in their 60s trying to stop guys in their 20s.
I was actually at home. I was watching TV, and a flash came across the TV that there was a riot going on in Madison Square Garden. So I called my security detail, and I responded.
Some 15 minutes after Golota was attacked, Safer's security force finally arrived.
It was worse than I thought it would be, and my biggest concern was that we had not been notified in a timely manner.
Order was restored some 23 minutes after the fight ended.
Ross Greenberg, producing from the truck, said to me, okay, I think we've covered this. Offer whatever personal comment you want to make, and then take us off the air. Something about that phrase just triggered the recognition. By the way, I've got a teenage daughter in here somewhere. I'm going to go find her. That became the personal comment.
Situation. Myself, I got a 16-year-old daughter in here somewhere, and I'm looking to be sure that she's safe.
This morning, the New York police summoned Bowe's manager to this precinct headquarters a block from the Garden. He was ordered to review the videotapes and identify anybody from Bowe's camp involved in the fighting.
I remember just being so personally angry with Golota that, you know, I went into the ring and screamed at him. 10 seconds later, the ring was full. Now, history has it that I started a riot.
And now the number of arrests are up to 10. The police are reviewing the videotapes with boxing officials and will make further arrests based on an analysis of the videotapes.
In all, 22 people were injured and 14 arrests were made, including Jason Harris, a member of the Bowe security staff. Harris, it turned out, had a record of violence, including the Fan Man incident, when his weapon of choice had been a walkie-talkie. He was given a 5-year suspended sentence.
Oh, I paid my dues. I was in the middle of being investigated for a police department. You know, when I got back, my investigator called me and said, Jason, sorry.
The turmoil overshadowed the fact that despite the victory, Bowe had been battered. A rematch would be big. It was set for 5 months later in Atlantic City. This time, Golota's trainers concentrated on Bowe's belt line.
So the punches are going to be coming up here. They're going to be hitting him on the chin. They're going to be hitting him in the chest. They're going to be hitting him in the body. They're going to hit me there. Over here, we've taught Andrew to keep away. This is a no zone over here.
Bowe, dedicated now, shed 50 pounds in 8 weeks and appeared to be in championship form at 235 pounds.
He embarrassed me. He did all the things to me that I should have did to him. I wanted to redeem myself.
What Bowe and others didn't know at the time was that the 29-year-old's body couldn't overcome years of pounding and abuse. And the only championship part of him left was his heart. From the opening bell, he looked lethargic in the ring.
It soon became apparent that he was a spent force. That first fight was not just a matter of conditioning. He was an old fighter before he got old.
He proceeded to hammer Bowe with the most continuous assortment of power punches that any heavyweight has ever had to take in a big fight. All the courage that Riddick had shown against Holyfield in the first fight, here it was again, as he was taking ridiculous punishment all around the ring from pillar to post, sometimes landing back.
Riddick Bowe fighting with a nothing-to-lose attitude now. And Golota stumbles. Andrew Golota has never been knocked down, but he will be in a few seconds.
After losing a point for intentional headbutting, Golota lost control of himself and his punches again in the fourth.
Low blows by Golota, and Eddie Cotton will pull him away.
All right, look, that's your first warning for low blows. All right, look. That's your first low for low blows. Your first one, no more, okay? Come on.
A fighter who simply cannot stop himself from throwing low blows.
Disbelief. I couldn't believe I was seeing the same thing.
More body punches. You gotta go to the head with this guy. Uppercuts and go to the head with this guy.
Even with 2 points now deducted from his score, Golota continued his onslaught.
That's a knockdown. That's another knockdown.
Golota received another warning in the 6th round.
And now Eddie Cotton's going to warn Golota for rabbit punching.
Late in the 9th round, he went back to it again. And the last two was a combination way below the belt.
Low blows, and down goes Bowe again.
Yeah, that's it.
He's calling the fight over. He's disqualified Golota again.
He was willing to fight hands down. But because he's an idiot, he got himself disqualified. He didn't want to be there.
I felt sad for him. I felt sad for Riddick. I felt sad for us that a potentially glorious event had once again become this strange atrocity.
Ludovic, give us your assessment of the fight.
Well, I don't know what to say. I really don't. I'm going to sit down with Andrew and say, look, do you want to be a fighter or don't you want to be a fighter? If you don't want to be the fighter that fights in the ring and fights the right way, then you better go look for a championship of a tough man contest in a bar or something like that, because it's not going to happen.
Andrew Golota would have 3 more chances at redemption. Against Lennox Lewis, Golota would be KO'd in the 1st round. Against Michael Grant, Golota would quit during the 10th round.
You want to fight? You want to fight? You want to fight?
He's saying no.
He said he didn't want to fight.
And after 2 rounds with Mike Tyson, Golota quit the fight and boxing.
When I was trying to put that mouthpiece in his mouth, I should have shoved it up his ass. I said to him, Andrew, don't do this to yourself. And then he didn't want to know nothing. He pushed me away.
Whatever demon it was that forced Andrew Golota to do those things in the ring, he couldn't stop it. He had no control.
Currently, Golota lives in Chicago and is facing criminal charges for a melee outside a hotel in Poland in November of 2002. For Bowe, who took way too many clean blows in big fights, his days as a fighter were also over.
His reflexes and responses weren't quite what I would have expected, especially somebody that's 28 years old.
If you look at Riddick's speech pattern from the Holyfield Bowe era,
You underestimate my stamina, my punching power. You know, Bert Cooper knocked Evander Fell in the ropes, I knocked him down.
to the Bowe Golota era, it's totally different.
I mean, you gotta look at it like this in this aspect. Golota is somewhat, you know, fresh. He hasn't had as many fights, so therefore he don't get his time. But as soon as fatigue set in a little bit, that's when he started hitting me low.
One of the major hallmark symptoms of chronic brain injury is personality changes, aggressive behavior, problems in someone's personal life.
1 month after the second GOLATA fiasco, Bowe made a strange decision.
Well, I'm not retiring, and I'm not going to announce my next fight until after I do something else. And that something else is join the United States Marine Corps.
For a guy who had trouble training for a fight worth tens of millions of dollars, how the hell is this guy going to go to Paris Island and wake up for reveille?
Bowe's first day of Marine Corps training was February 18th, 1997. He would be a civilian again just 3 days later.
I didn't expect the drill instructors to give me such a hard time.
Returning to civilian life wasn't easy for Bowe. A string of domestic disputes resulted in a separation from his wife, Judy.
She left and took the kids down to North Carolina. I kind of felt like a part of me died. And what good was I?
I got a call from one of Judy's nieces to say that Bowe had come and he had taken the family.
What people must understand is that what I did, I'm not proud of it, but I did it out of love.
Bowe pled guilty to interstate domestic violence, and in November of 2002, was sentenced to at least 18 months in prison. In a sentencing hearing, his defense team claimed that injuries to his brain from boxing were partly to blame for his decision-making.
This is a different Riddick Bowe than that fresh, young, big bear of a guy who first fought Evander.
You know what? God has a way of humbling you. And perhaps, you know, somewhere along the line I did something, or maybe I was somewhat snobbish and he wanted to bring me back down to earth.
Riddick Bowe is a tragic figure in boxing. To become a champion and not to be able to deal with success, and then to suffer some physical and probably mental damage, his whole life falling apart.